Hey, my self-care superstars. I hope that you are all doing okay. I am your self-care concierge, and so I just wanted to come into this wonderful community and group that I have here with all of you and just make sure that one, you're doing okay. Two, know that I'm praying for anyone who might be feeling the burdens either with their health or financially, having that fear come in. Just know that I'm praying for comfort and peace and health for everyone. But mainly, I just wanted to come in and make sure that this time, we are all in this together at the same time. It's kind of eerie. It's kind of weird. For the first time in, I don't want to say history, but maybe in my adult history, we are all in this together. Not one of us is exempt from feeling the effects of what's happening in the world right now. And so now, more than ever, is the time to be practicing our self-care. And I know that sometimes that is going to look a little different than how we usually practice it. Yesterday, I did a post and I talked about real briefly getting back to the basics. And I think that's really what we all have to focus on. And the back to the basics, I would say if I had one tip, one piece of advice of how to maintain that self-care routine is to just start with you and end with you every single day. Bookend your day. I call it bookending. You wake up in the morning and you do something for you, and before you go to bed, you do something for you, and you bookend yourself. And again, that might look a little different. Hey, Aaron, Danya, Brett, Kelly, Tavia, Wendy, thank you all for tuning in. That might look a little different than it has in the past. Some people are not allowed to go into their offices. Some people have their kids at home. We already had our kids at home because we were already on spring break, so we just have an extra week extension as of now. But it's still different when we are, self-quarantined or not allowed, or not even not allowed, but just not able to do the things that we usually do. We can't take our kids to the movies or bowling or go have a staycation at a hotel and swim in the pool, so there's different things that we are all experiencing. But the one thing that must remain stable for all of us is our self-care practice. And it is a practice, which means that it changes, it ebbs and flows. It's going to be different. You have to be flexible. You have to be willing to adapt. Yes, exactly. We have to make sure that we're boosting and strengthening our immune systems. Absolutely, Danya. Absolutely. Hey, Jody, Stephanie. So I want to just talk about what are the things that we can do to bookend our day. And then throughout the day, we can add in little things. So, my routine in the morning, and this happens whether I'm traveling, whether I'm at home, whether craziness is happening outside the walls of my house or not, I grab my coffee, I sit in my chair, and I read my devotional. And I fill myself up spiritually before I start my day. And sometimes it's 5 minutes, sometimes it's 45 minutes. It just depends. So whatever that is for you, whatever you can do to fill yourself up first, whether it's listening to a motivation podcast, listening to a happy song that gets you awake and fired up, whether it's reading a book, whether it's prayer, meditation, whatever it is, figure out what that is for you and make sure that you're doing it every single morning. Again, it's more important that you spend or experience 2 minutes of time than none at all. So if you are like, I don't have 30 minutes, I don't have 45 minutes, I don't even have 15 minutes, my life is kind of crazy right now, 2 minutes. Every single one of you can experience 2 minutes of time by yourself in the morning, I promise. And then same thing at night before you go to bed. What are you doing to fill yourself back up so you're not going to bed completely exhausted and spent out? What are you doing? My suggestion, and it's kind of different now because things are changing so much, but I've always said never go to bed without looking at your calendar and your schedule for the next day. Because that way, when you wake up in the morning, you're not grasping for your phone or your calendar or your planner like, oh my God, what do I have going on today? You already know. So take a look at what you have coming up for the week, understanding that things right now are changing daily, if not hourly. But what are the things that you can schedule in and stick to for the next day? And maybe instead of watching TV until your eyes like are dreary and you can't hold them open anymore, maybe play a game with your family. Maybe have some quiet time with your spouse or partner. Maybe just sit quietly by yourself and meditate or pray and have a cup of tea. Or I've been having hot lemon water lately. Do something for you. So that's it. Back to the basics. Bookend your day. And don't forget also that your kids need to see you taking care of yourself too, because they're going to feed off of our energy. And the last thing that we want to do, they just got home from a bike ride, and I just got finished working out from an online streaming video of Pilates that my Pilates instructor did for me. So I'm moving into my office here. What was I saying? Oh yes, our kids, they are going to feed off of our energy. So the last thing that we want to have them see from us is fear or worry or doubt. So the thing that we can do the best is to make sure that we're modeling for them, taking care of ourselves and loving ourselves, despite what might be going on out there. And it's not to say to ignore it. It's not to say that, don't be fearful. Personally, I'm not afraid of catching the virus. I'm not afraid for my family catching the virus. We are healthy, and I have my immune support from the inside out, my self-care from the inside out with my DNA nutrition, which I'm thankful for. There are people out there who are more susceptible to it, but the fear, and this is a tough one because I really try to live with the motto of faith over fear, but that's not to ignore that there is a reality that everyone's going to be impacted in some way or another, most likely financially, the economy, the income levels. We're in this world of uncertainty, in this land of the unknown right now. So unless we know it's a fact, I would just be cautious of where you're getting your sources. Be cautious of letting yourself go down that rabbit hole of negativity and what ifs. Be responsible. But first and foremost, please, please, please make sure that you are maintaining your personal self-care practice. And again, it's a practice. It changes. It ebbs and flows. And my number one golden recommendation for you is to just make sure that you're bookending your day. Start with yourself and end with yourself. I am here in this group if any of you want to chat, if anyone is wondering what they can do to bookend their days, because their days are completely different than what they used to be. Pop a question in there. I'm happy to answer and chat and offer my advice and hopefully come up with a solution for you. But just remember, you are worth your self-care no matter what is happening in the world, because if you are not at your best, you are not going to be at your best for others. And this is the time more now than ever to please make sure that we are all practicing our self-care, because self-care is not selfish. It's an essential part of our life. All right. I love you all very, very much. Take care of you, and please stay connected, stay close. Let's not socially distance ourselves. Let's physically distance ourselves and be responsible. Okay. I love you.